Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Round Valley High School gym. Some call it the old gym. It's really the only gym now at the high school other than the dome. We are live here bringing you Let's Go Elks wrestling against the Joseph City Wildcats. To my right, which you can't see, but that's all right, I'm joined by Mr. Ethan Holliday on the cameras.
Pleasure to be here.
And Mr. Spencer Baker. Spencer, thanks for joining us again.
Hello.
He makes us look good because he's the only one that actually knows. Well, I guess you know Ethan wrestling, but Spencer actually brings the technical side of it. We love it because then we understand a little more about the why, about what's going
But looks
down.
don't really matter right now since we're not on camera.
That's right. And we're masked up. It looks like we're going to rob a bank or something here in a minute. So guys, I guess something to consider. We saw some basketball being played. I was able to see a little bit of wrestling footage that the Loft took of wrestlers in masks wrestling. Spencer, from your perspective, your experience, how much of an impact do you see that being on the kids?
Other than not much. Other than not being able to potentially breathe. But I mean, when I look at their masks, it looks like it's almost.
Headgear. If it comes off, then they just wait until there is what he calls a lull in the action, and then they reset, put it back on, and go back to wrestling. So not too crazy, but making sure they're on as much as possible.
Yeah, so I don't know if it'll affect it a whole lot other than just it'll be a pain to breathe. You know, I mean, it's already a full contact sport, so it's already hard to breathe. But again, with this mesh, I don't know how much that'll inhibit it.
Hopefully not too much.
I hope not. But at least they're getting to wrestle. I mean, that was a big thing for me. Is you have all these seniors that were potentially going to be lost out on everything this season, right? But now they have at least a chance to perform and to show what they've done for the past 3 or 4 years.
To go with our theme of this last year, this is lemonade wrestling. We're just doing the best we can.
Right, with
So-
what we can, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, not that any sport is easier or lighter than the other, but wrestlers, even talking to the coaches, wrestling's not an enjoyable thing to practice and get ready for. And so I think if any of the kids that are ready to put 6 minutes in and give it their best and have a mask be something not as a limiter, I think the wrestlers are going to be ready for it.
Oh,
I think
sure.
It's not just another day. You know, I mean, it's nothing real big different for them. It's going to be maybe a little bit harder to breathe, but like you say, it looks like they are a little lighter. Hopefully it's easier for them to keep that going.
Yeah, wrestlers are a different breed. They like that pain and punishment. So
Another thing that I didn't know when I married my wife, I learned that I had a dog that I didn't know about. That was one thing. But then also she came from an entire family of wrestlers, and we didn't wrestle at all, and so it's been interesting being introduced to this sport and try to learn more and more. My boys wrestle. It's really neat to see how it's a solo and a team sport at the same time, and how much these kids get out of it from an individual perspective.
So Ethan, I don't know if you want to talk about the guy wearing the mask. That way the fans know later on when they see him. Since you brought that up earlier.
Yeah, so another rule change this year, not necessarily like rules as far as technique or safety concerns, but they did a lot of different things with dress code and so on, especially with the new girls' classes and stuff. You know, hair, they can have long hair, but it's got to be tied up, so you'll see some of the male wrestlers that have buns and things like that. That used to be not allowed. You used to have to cut your hair to wrestle. And now you can keep full-on facial hair. You can have your beard, but you have to wear the mask that traditionally has been worn for people who break their nose, and then it's a guard that protects that bridge so it doesn't get re-injured. But apparently you can elect to wear that mask and keep your beard, so there you go.
I wonder if you could hide that under a mask if you bunned up your beard and hid it under and tried to do it that way.
Yeah.
Sure you'd get found out pretty quick.
So I'm not sure if he's electing to wear the face mask because of an injury or the beard, but I do notice he has a beard. He
does.
And it is a requirement to keep the beard, so that may be why. So anyways.
I'm just jealous that he can have a beard in high school and I'm 36.
Still working? You're still working on it? Well, guys, before we get ready, we got the Wildcats getting warmed up. We want to show some love to the sponsors that are helping us bring this to you in the crazy times that we are in. We're hoping to bring as much of basketball and wrestling to you as possible. But a huge shout out to Cowboy Up, again, bringing basketball and wrestling action to you. So thank you, Cowboy Up. Go see them for their veterans discounts. Go see them for your chainsaw needs. They'll have chicks here in a month or two. It's going to be springtime at Cowboy Up. Mr. Dan Muth's on our camera. He's our second cameraman today. Dan Muth, a huge supporter of Let's Go Elks and everything that we do. This stream brought to you by Farmers Insurance, Mr. Troy Merrill in Eager, Arizona. Whatever insurance you need, go see him. It's never too early to start considering and life planning, so go talk to him about his life insurance options that they have there at Farmers. Another big supporter of what we do, new sponsor this year, this last season, McCall Hauling and Dirt Works. Dan said that he had some go in there here a couple months ago. It was during football season. I just had them come by and drop a load as well for us to get things ready for all the weather that we're getting. So a huge thanks for them for coming by and bringing us some rock that was real easy. He came by, he quoted it out, let me know, came by, spread it out as much as he could, and we finished it up. So a huge thank to McCall Hauling and Dirt Works that way. Fine folks at Molly Butler's. As always, a huge thanks to Sandy and all the great staff up there at Molly Butler's. We love them. Since we're almost through the list and we're still not wrestling, Pioneer Title Agency, a local title agency. If you're buying, selling, developing, getting it going that way, go see Carly and her great staff down there at Springerville. They're another one of our great supporters. Really community driven, love our community, love the state of Arizona. You'll see these agencies throughout the state. The Pop Shop right across the road here. You can't get much closer to the Pop Shop than we are right now. New hours. Make sure you like them on social media so you know when they're open, when they're closed, what's going on. But go see Carrie and get yourself a something to drink. I even am understanding now that they have flavored water. So it's like a lemonade situation. So if you're not a soda drinker, they've still got something for you in the house. So go see Carrie and her staff and get your sugar fix.
And it's semi-healthy. Right?
Is it?
Well, it's just water, flavored water.
I haven't had a chance to go by yet, but I am not a soda drinker, and so I'm interested to go and give it a shot and see what's in there.
Greta got some the other day, and it was pretty tasty. So
right on. And Greta, they have some cookies in there at the pop shop occasionally, right? And so Spencer Baker, married to Greta, she was on last year during our rodeo stream, talking about the mission behind Bakers by the Dozen. So we're glad to have them back with us. Mr. Whitney Wiltbank at Randstrom and Wiltbank CPAs in Eager, Arizona. They're not just tax and accounting. Go talk to them about wealth management. They have leadership development. Go see Mr. Whitney Wiltbank in Eager, right by the light. New sponsor today. Ethan, I'm going to let you lead on this one because you can probably talk way more intelligently about Valley Auto than I could. So I'd like to welcome to our sponsor family, Valley Auto Parts in Springerville.
Yeah, if you guys need auto parts in Round Valley, go see John, Jeff, Warren. Those guys are awesome. They take care of you. If you need hydraulic hoses, fittings, they carry a wide selection. They can get it. If they don't got it, they can get it for you next day. Just awesome. They carry all your heavy truck parts, so they kind of put themselves apart from the other auto stores by just carrying those heavy duty parts that you need to get the job done. We've been doing business with them for a long time, so very happy to see them come and support this wrestling event. One of the wrestlers, Jackson McCall, worked there all last year, so nice little tie-in, and grateful to have him on board this year.
So huge thanks. Thank you for a new sponsor, family member, Valley Auto Parts, Springerville, Arizona, just across from Booger Reds.
Go grab a bite to eat if you're waiting on some parts.
There it is. Woodland Building Center, last sponsor on our list for the day. Woodland Building Center. Doesn't matter what the season, what the size of the job, they've got what you need, and they've got the staff to help you get it figured out. Lots of fireplace stuff. I went and bought my last chimney cleaning kit from them. Go see them. There's no job too big or too small for the great staff at Woodland Building Center in Springerville, Arizona, just down the road from Booger Reds and Valley Auto Parts. Guys, once again, it looks like we're just minutes away. The Wildcats warmed up. The Elks are over there getting one final chat. The cheerleaders are even here. We got the varsity spirit line with us today. And once again, Mr. Dan Muth down on the floor. He's running our wireless camera down on the floor. We'll see what we get in that kind of action. But Just excited to be here. I mean, it was so touch and go for the last like 5 or 6 weeks. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. We're glad these athletes are going to get an opportunity to represent their school and themselves here on the wrestling mat this season, albeit with all the limitations that they've been given.
There's the coin toss. So Joe City gets the choice.
And what are we choosing here with the initial coin count?
So you're choosing when you get to choose. So it'll go every other one. But when you want, who chooses up, down, neutral.
Okay. And what's the strategy here? Is it totally based on your kids and the strength that you have there? Does it matter where we start in the lineup? And for those of you that don't know, you don't always start in the same place in a wrestling match.
It's very situational too, depending on if you need points, if you want to go for the takedown. Some positions it's really hard to score from. Some it's easier in theory, even though there's 2 people out there. But so that really depends a lot on which position you decide to do your restart. But
it looks like we've got a couple of buys here.
So
Peyton Finch.
Where are we starting out, Spencer? Looks like we're at the lighter weight classes.
I think we started out at 106 with Peyton Finch there.
there's Jackson.
Yep. So Peyton Finch had a bye. Then we both had a bye on 112. Jackson McCall had a bye at 120. Next up will be Kenley Caldwell, and he should have a bye as well. First match should be Morgan Arona against Austin Westover from Joe City.
First set of wrestling here for the Round Valley Elks, trying to get things figured out again. I'm not sure if we're handshaking, but I think we're fist bumping,
Looks like
trying to figure it out.
Air bumps.
Air bumps.
When I was in wrestling, the cheerleaders were called mat maids. Is that still an acceptable term? I have no idea.
I don't know if it's politically correct.
Ethan,
I don't know if it is either.
I think you should go down. We'll make sure Dan is nice and zoomed in, and we'd like you to ask 3 or 4 of them and see what happens.
So you'll notice this is one of the regulation changes is he can wrestle in a full
He's in
shirt
shorts.
and shorts. Yep. And that's good to go more in line with the freestyle wrestling.
So that is part of the new rule change because of the addition of girls wrestling. That's part of the new uniform.
I'm sure it's because of that. They've been doing that in freestyle for 5 years now.
Okay.
And so it just finally came back over to collegiate.
Okay.
Morgan with a quick pin.
With the air bumps again, this is interesting.
Yeah. In all fairness, looks like that kid from Joe City had some taped up joints. He may not have been at full strength. Mm-hmm. Good to see the grit and determination.
So this is Isaac Dempsey from Round Valley going against Bruce Waitman from Joe City. 138.
Marilee McBride, who was the cheer sponsor for a long time, and full disclosure, my mother, says they were later called wrestlerettes.
Oh, wrestlerettes. I like that.
But is that what you call the girl wrestlers now? Are they the wrestlerettes? I don't know. I don't think they'd like
just
that.
wrestlers.
I think they're just wrestlers. We got Bruce in on a deep single.
Stalemate.
Would you prefer to be in the singlet or in the shorts and shirt, Ethan?
I would have loved a rash guard in shorts.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, just because I always seem to get mat rash on my shoulders like crazy. So I would have enjoyed the little extra protection.
Green just got called for one for stalling. Doesn't mean anything right now.
Round Valley really struggling with that wrist control that Joe City's getting on him.
Isaac was able to break that leg and get behind for the 2 takedown. I'm not sure if he wanted to let him up or not.
8 seconds left. Do you think they're both just waiting? It doesn't seem like we got a lot of explosion.
Yeah.
Or is that just the weight class for us?
No, this is normally an explosive weight class. So you start going 138 to 160, it's a really explosive weight class. So I think they're just waiting. Round Valley to third, and Joe City takes bottom.
Typically a lot easier to score from bottom because all you got to do is get away and you get that free point. Whereas to score from on top, you got to break it down his base and you got to get him rolled over.
You see Red Holiday locking hands, technical violation. So when you're on top, you're not allowed to lock hands unless
you have an arm trapped
pending
or a head.
Yep.
So guys, if you're just joining us, hit that share button. Let your friends and family know where we got Elks Wrestling going right now. We're live on YouTube and Facebook today. We'll be back next week with basketball action. We're looking at the wrestling schedule.
Isaac was able to turn him with a wing. Wasn't able to keep it as his wing was really tight.
I'd like to see him duck under and get that hat. There we go.
There it is, finally.
Now just needs to get into that and drive. There you go. All right, there you go.
He's done.
There we go.
6 points for Isaac.
Rustin.
That is my favorite move. A bar and a half. Cannot get much better. So next up is going to be 145, Cade Hogel. I was really impressed with him last year, going against Paul Wirebellet.
I like it.
Could be a typo from Joe City. We'll just call him Paul.
Oh, Dan Moose on the move.
Cade is really explosive.
You know, it was really fun to watch him in the football field go to a completely new position, play guard, and really pick it up. I think it speaks to just who he is as an athlete, and so I'm excited to watch him wrestle, see if he brings that to the mat.
Well, his toughness to be down there. I mean, to try a new one, especially down there on the line. Got an inside turtle now.
So I think, Spencer, this is what you're talking about. We're seeing more explosive wrestling, a little more excitement going right here. Now, is this kind of right in the middle of the weight class where that happens?
Yeah, the little guys are always just wiry, and so they're just hard. They don't have much power behind them, but this weight class between 130 and 160, they not only have power, but they have energy, and so they're going to be a lot more explosive, a lot more power behind them. The really exciting ones to watch.
Wiry.
Yep.
Wiry. I like the way he holds his hands too, especially when he's up. Those down hands really discourage. If you're not real confident in your shot, it can discourage you from just bailing in.
Going in, yeah. He's there ready to catch you.
Yep.
So Round Valley with an early team lead, and that's attributed to the buys. Now, Spencer, break down scoring for us. How much are each of those buys worth for the Elks?
So a buy is going to be 6 points. And then Isaac, we've had 3 pins now with this one. And so each buy 6 points, and then a pin is 6 points. Tech fall is going to be 5. We haven't had one of those yet. Major decision is going to be 4, and a decision is going to be 3. Major decision is anything 12 or more.
And weren't we seeing that come into play when we were in St. John's last year? I know you had to explain that to me because it was things I hadn't seen before.
And there was a lot more wrestling going on last time. I mean, we both had a full team, so there was a lot more to explain on that. But we did see a couple of major decisions on that.
Next week, the Elks will be in St. John's for for the duel against the Redskins, I believe on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. Then they go on the road to Thatcher on Saturday, I believe. Thatcher on Saturday. And so, again, we're trying to wrap our head around what coverage we can bring you. We know the Loft in St. John's will have coverage of that wrestling match if we're unable to make it. But, again, Ethan and I will get our heads together. We'll figure out what we can and can't do and get back with you.
Yeah, sure would like to make it. We'll see what we can do.
Watch the Facebook page. Back to the action. Now, where are we at now, Spencer?
Sorry, this is not exactly sure.
Hold up.
Is this Gage?
Yep.
So this is going to be Gage Baker. I think we're wrestling 160 here. So Gage Baker against Brody Penrod, 160. So he gave him 2 takedown there. He's out of bounds.
Near pin's going to be 3, correct? You didn't get it far enough down for that to be?
Yeah, you have to have a 3 count to be able to get your near fall points.
Okay.
I don't.
And the shoulder has to be at 45 for the
45
mat?
or bigger. Yep.
A lot of power there by Joe City.
Yeah.
For the reverse, and he got it. Some good hard wrestling there. He's got to break that base down.
He's got his hand control, so he's taking that leg out.
He's trying to. He needs to be careful not to get pulled over the top. He's putting a lot of pressure up on that other shoulder.
He's got a hand.
Now he's got that ankle
So just what we've seen
blocking the hands. Yeah.
So just what we've seen so far, it seems like the Joseph City player just a little bit more, I don't know if it's strength, just a little bit more on him. So how, if that is the case, what does the Elk do in order to turn that around in their favor if you're under strength, if you're a little smaller than the other wrestler?
Well, he was showing some good technique, especially when he got out and made that reversal. That quick transition to break down his base. I mean, he's doing it with technique.
So one thing with a lot of power comes a lot of energy wasted, right? And so if you're being really explosive, that's at this higher weight class. You see a lot of people with muscle, but they also get tired a whole lot easier because there's so much more muscle to fuel. And so if you can out technique him, like Ethan was saying, and just wait just for a little bit, he'll get tired because he has to put all that energy into moving his muscle. So that's one.
Oh, he's trying to roll him to the cradle. Oh no, lost it.
Heck of a crossface there.
He's just making sure his mask is on. We're just trying to help him out.
Looks like it's a little off center. Let me move it to the left a little bit.
Is that the first match we've seen so far get through the first period of play?
It is.
No. Isaac went to the second.
Oh, that's right.
The buzzer just caught me. I'm like, I don't know
That's
if
the
I've
first
heard
time we
that.
heard the buzzer. That's the first time we heard the buzzer. I'm a little disappointed the ref didn't get hit by a towel.
Yeah, where's Towel Boy?
That's probably due to restrictions.
What'd you call the cheerleaders? You call them mat maids? Don't give them one. I'm going to go beat up on them.
So this is going to be his second.
I thought he had the wrist, but I didn't see it. But maybe he locked hands for a second. But I thought he was on the wrist.
Well, in locking hands, it's such a gray area. It's anything that's touching. It doesn't matter if you're locking hands. If your hands are just touching or your hands touch your elbows, that's considered locking hands.
He's got that wrist control. He's trying to. Oh.
Looks like he's trying to get a wing. He almost was having a wing and a wrist there.
He's just locked his hands again.
There it is. So this is going to be a free move. Since he was in a precarious position, the ref was holding the locking hands. So it gives Joe City a free move. So end of the match, he'll still get that 1 point for the tech.
So really try to speak up and say they're having a harder time hearing you. So
Okay.
Give it to them.
So on that, right there, we locked hands. Round Valley locked hands. gave Joe City a free move since he was already kind of on his back. Joe City was able to reverse that and then put him on his back, and he wasn't able to get out. The 1 point for the technical was going to be added on after that match, after the match was over, though. So this is we had a 170 bye for both teams. This is going to be 182, Cutter Williams and Ethan Thomas.
This is 182.
182.
Getting into the big boys.
Looks like the Joe City guy might be a little bit on the smaller side. Ooh. There's your half. Put your half in. Cutter trying to control his hips. He's got that leg in. Almost like a Turk. He had a Turk leg in.
I like the backpack move there.
Backpack move. I don't know if I heard that.
Where you scoop double
I
underhooks
gotcha,
from the
yep,
back
yep.
and then just roll them
Go
over.
backwards. Yep. So Cutter there had a tilt, got a little too top heavy and went over.
Joe City working that front headlock.
I'm really surprised to see that more masks haven't come all the way off.
Yeah, they stay on pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
Which Joe City's under the nose. Apparently that's acceptable.
Oh, a little pancake.
He overextended for that single. Was able to get out of bounds.
Cutter's keeping his legs in, though. That's two. That was good control, keeping his legs in.
Yep. Trying to get those 2 points and complete the move.
Have you ever watched Jordan Burroughs?
Yes.
He is the best about keeping his feet in and being right on the edge.
Yeah.
Cutter getting a little high there. Joe City reaching for the head. About to get a reversal, but Cutter's got the bar and a half, and I think he's done. And there's another 6 points for Round Valley.
That one came out real competitive at first, and then it looked like conditioning became an issue down the stretch.
Well, I think he's a little bit smaller than Cutter, it looks like. So, I mean, he was going all out, but if you're 10 or 15 pounds lighter than somebody, it can definitely wear on you, especially when you're going as hard as he was. So it looks like, to me, 220 and heavyweight, Round Valley has buys.
That may be an end of the wrestling for this evening. Afternoon. Don't even know what time it is.
That'll give the kids enough time. I think there's a dance tonight. Go shower up and.
Well, there you go.
They have a lot more wrestlettes than we had. We only had like 3 or 4.
I don't remember us having any, to be honest with you.
I was kind of excited to watch him wrestle, the guy with the mask. It's a good shot of Ref Holiday.
We don't have a heavyweight this year.
No heavyweight, no.
I guess that was JP
That was JP
year.
McCall last year, yep.
And he done graduated on us, so.
So final score, it looks like 48 Elks, 18 Joe City. Again, those buys in the beginning really playing into effect.
Yeah. Hi guys, this is us tucked away in our corner.
I don't even know where Dan is.
And
He's over there.
Oh, we're going to take a look at our cheerleaders as they get ready to exit. Appreciate them coming here, supporting, and doing their thing. That was fun. That makes me want to watch more wrestling, though.
I'm super excited about. Well, I hope they get the little kids going on in a little bit.
I hope so too. I know I've seen you at the practices with the little kids, the club wrestling we've got going on here. I enjoy it as well. Get to teach, get to roll around on the mat, and just have a good time. I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
I know my son is definitely missing it. He's in the 4th grade now. He really enjoyed it last year.
Where'd you guys see Coach Salazar? Is he still around? I was going to go see if we
He's
could
right there,
try to
right across.
He's right straight. Talking to the AD from
Joe City.
Let me go talk to him, see if he can come up here for a few minutes, guys. We got you on camera right here. If you guys want to just give some posts, talk through the few matches that we did have, and just kind of bring it back to the people. Only 20 minutes of wrestling, guys. It's kind of
a shocker. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
I think that happens when you have two smaller schools going against each other. I mean, Joe City, are they 1 or 2A?
That is an excellent question. I mean, I would imagine this is probably, I don't know if this is a conference match or not. That's how prepared I am for this. But, as far as we can't even win. Sorry. As far as matches go, I mean, the Elks, we dominated most of our matches. We had a close one, a loss, and some good wrestling, some good technique. Just getting better every year with Coach Salazar, I feel like. So
I think we're getting lots better every year.
I'm so excited for St. John's now because that's like the measure every year of where your wrestling program's at. And I wish we had a few more wrestlers, had a few more weight classes full, but it is what it is.
Well, I think that goes to our toughness, though. I mean, you look at these kids. They play football and they're playing, every position, and we don't have any big guys. And just how tough they are to be on the line or be backers and still be smaller guys. That just our kids are so tough. These wrestlers are just another breed.
And what I like to see is they're all lean and mean looking. They're all in good shape. So far, I'm pretty impressed with how the team's looking physically so far this year.
I am curious how the conditioning is going to happen. Last year against
St. John's, right?
St. John's, we had a couple matches where we gassed a little bit.
How we doing, Coach? Come in here, join us.
Come on in.
We get this mic over here to catch you a little better. So, camera's right there if you want to look. How do you feel like things went?
Things went really well for the first match.
Yeah.
We've been practicing pretty much like everybody else. We've had a long practice season since November. You would think it would look a little easier, but when you finally get your first match live, everybody looks a little rusty or whatnot, but having it under our belts, we're just moving forward from here and hoping to have a successful season.
How are the masks playing into effect with your boys?
With the masks that we currently have, they're actually not horrible. I mean, they're just an added thing, and having them, trying to train them, working with them in practice, not to fidget with your mask as you wrestle, due to the fact that, every time you stick your hand to your face, you give your opponent an edge. And this is just some other little piece of equipment that's going to gnaw at you and cause that. It's a little bit, to get used to, but we're doing all right with it.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody fidgeting with it during the matches. So.
Right, and like I said, we've been practicing with our masks and stuff just for that reason.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm surprised at how well they stay on.
They do. The headgear seems to help hold it on as I talk and move my jaw. It pulls down. There's some stuff I saw a few of the other wrestlers having to pull their mask down. We might do some modification to the bottom of the mask here, put a little loop so your chin strap goes through it, just to keep it out of your eyes. Whether or not it goes down, that's one thing, but if it goes up into your eyes and blocking your sight, that's something completely different. So,
well, overall, excited?
Overall, I am excited. I'm so happy to have the first match under our belt. and looking forward to next week. We got 3 in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so we're on our way.
Oh, a lot of wrestling next week. I'm excited. So no heavyweight this year.
We don't have a heavyweight this year. We had a couple of guys that came out that were heavier weights that, due to unfortunate circumstances, they just decided they didn't want to wrestle anymore. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's tough for every sport and everybody. So, we just have to do it with what we got. So
we were talking before about how wrestling is a difficult sport to enjoy, but if you do, it makes you just a lot mentally tougher as you go on the rest of your life. Definitely a character building sport.
No, this is one of those sports. It's a very, very disciplined sport. I can't say disciplined military-wise, something like that, but it is in that realm. Having to watch your weight for the most part and how hard you exercise and learning everything that you have to know. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a long duration sport. Some of it's a lifetime sport. And the champions, they do this this is their sport. They do it for season after season after season until they become a champion. And, it takes that discipline to continue to do that.
For sure.
So who are we supposed to be looking out for this year? Who's looking like they got a real shot at state, regionals, whatever it is they've set their goal for?
So right now we have some returning state placers. We have some guys that made it to state. Pretty much the 3 seniors. Jackson McCall, he's definitely looking to be a state champion this year for sure, even though he didn't have a match tonight. Cade Hogle is definitely going to be a contender this year.
He had a lot of power behind him in his match today. I was impressed with that.
He absolutely does. This will be the first year that he's actually got to wrestle how much he weighs, his weight class. Years past, there's always been somebody there that's beat him out or whatever, so he's had to fill a different weight class that he hasn't been able to, had to go up to. It's usually above his weight class. So this is the first year that he actually gets to compete in his weight class at what he weighs. So that's a big difference for him.
Yeah.
Cutter Williams, again, he was state placer last year. I believe he took 5th or 6th. Can't remember right off the top of my head, but we're definitely looking for him to be up in the top tiers there. We got some new guys, some freshmen and sophomores, and, this being our first match, we just have to see how they shake out and stack up against the other teams.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate your time, and boys look good. I was impressed.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
We always say the true test is St. John's, so.
It is, and I've talked with the coaches, being from St. John's and knowing all the coaches down there and growing up around them and stuff. They're always tough competitors, no matter what, and seems like they have a full team. We're giving up a lot of weight classes this year. We just don't have the numbers, so we'll do what we can, and however it works out, we'll hope for next year.
I'll come wrestle 60s for you.
Yeah, we've had a few people like, hey, I can try to sneak in there.
Right, put a mask on me and nobody's going to know.
Yeah.
He can't grow a beard, so we're covered there.
So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I wish we had more people coming out for the team. We just don't have the numbers this year. So.
Well, looking forward to it. As always, that St. John's match is so tough because they are so well coached, and the boys are always pumped for it, and I'm so excited, and we get to do it twice this year, so
That's
even
right.
better.
That's right. We're going to go down there first, and then they're going to come up here later, so we can't wait.
Well, good luck, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys
Thanks,
very
Coach.
much.
Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Oh, that was exciting. Again, I just want to watch more wrestling. And let's see what else Wes has got to say for us.
I don't know if I have anything to say. This is one of those things when that's literally why we bring Spencer along. Because like I said, not growing up in a wrestling family, not being around wrestling, it's one of those things that I'm learning as we go and trying to get things figured out. My boys seem to really enjoy it. My boy had a pretty bad knee injury last year that he's recovered from, and this talking about wrestling and the mentality and what it does to an individual, I think that's because I watched Rustin have a really bad a really bad injury on his knee. I mean, wakes me up at night, like seeing it over, like in my memory. And he went into a brace for 6 months, and he went back to the wrestling mat a couple months ago. And just, it's one of those moments that you're like, there it is. He could make the choice one way or the other, and that's what wrestling does. That's the kind of boys and girls now that wrestling brings, is those kids that are going to have something that's just drastic. I wouldn't have said anything if he never went back on the mat, because I wasn't a wrestler. Like, dude, your knee's important for a few more years, but here he is figuring it out, learning to gain his confidence back even after the injury and stuff. And so it's exciting. Like you guys said, I just want to watch more wrestling. It's fun to see it, because it's those boys. It's that boy and nobody else for 6 minutes. While it's a team sport, nobody can help them in those 6 minutes. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And when wrestling's going well, it is the funnest thing in the world to do. When things are going your way and you feel like you're in control and you're able to kind of exert your will, so to speak, that's a great feeling. But a lot about wrestling is learning how to deal with those times when that table gets flipped on you, and sometimes it happens quick and you don't see it coming, and now all of a sudden
you're on your back.
Things suck, and it sucks bad, and you got to figure out and dig deep, and you got to make a decision on whether you're going down or you're going to fight through.
And if that just hasn't been a testament of the last year of our life or a little bit more, right? If these boys are able to learn these things at this point in their life, how awesome. That when life does get hard, because by the way, it doesn't get any easier for most people, right? That they're there. They know how to work hard. They know how to dig deep. They know how to find the lemonade in the situation, right? And find the best of a situation and learn from it. So.
I think that's one of the things about wrestling is you don't have anybody else to blame anything on, right? I mean, you can't say, well, the defense didn't do this, oh, the offense didn't do this, oh, we didn't make our shots or whatever. It's all about I didn't perform, and so when life gets hard, it's because I'm not performing. And so what do I need to do to make my life a little bit better? I need to perform a little bit better and do what I need to do.
And like Coach was talking, the discipline. I mean, if you're getting to your matches and you're making weight but you don't have energy, you got to look at your diet, and no one's going to do that for you. It's got to be you. You got to make sure you're putting yourself in a position to succeed, and it's tough. It really is. It builds a lot of character and gives you a lot of skills for later on in life. So
I don't know how many times we would go to weigh-ins, and the day before we would be just fine, and there'd be one kid, I didn't eat anything, but he's a pound over, Well, come on.
Yeah, something. But I will totally say I was that kid. Okay, I can look at food and gain weight. So I'm just saying. I empathize with that individual right there. But no, I mean, yeah, it's all on you in that point, right? Weigh-ins, that's all on you. You're traveling, mom's not there. You go to Burger King, it's what you eat is going to affect you through the rest of the day and through the rest of the tournament, right? And so I guess first one. We're excited to see what the season brings. Really one more time, we're looking at the calendar. We're trying to dial things in to cover as much as we can, and so just stay tuned to the Facebook page, watch the social media, Instagram as well. We're making those announcements. And so from the high school gym, guys, a huge thanks to Mr. Spencer Baker for joining us again, bringing next level commentary to wrestling. Really blurry situations there, but from the gym, I'm Wesley McBride.
I'm Ethan Holiday.
I'm Spencer Baker.
You guys be safe. Have a great weekend. Make good choices.